Hi there, and thanks for tuning in. The Royal Caribbean cruise on board the cruise ship called Spectrum of the Seas was the first ever cruise for us. And in this video, we are excited to share our experience with you. This one is a 4-night cruise that starts from Singapore, goes to KL in Malaysia, and further up to Penang and back. In the next few minutes, we'll give you a room tour, share the F&B options, the stopovers, the various activities, and the entertainment that you can enjoy on board. So let's get started. Hey folks, welcome to the channel. I'm Sakshi.
And I'm DJ.
There's a lot of excitement in our household today because we are heading out for a
cruise!
It's our very first cruise experience, and very soon we'll be heading out for check-in and boarding, and we'll take you along with us. In the meanwhile, say hello to Pixie! And also joining us this time is Anjali, Pixie's auntie. Let's go!
Bye, Victor! Bye!
So we arrived at the Marina Bay Cruise Center in Singapore, which is where we are right now. And before you board, you have to go through the usual process. So you have to go through a security check-in, then you have to go through a check-in, and followed by immigration. And finally, you can then go ahead and board the cruise ship, which is where we are headed right now. And we can see the cruise ship. So on the side, you can see it already. And the process has been very similar to boarding an airplane. So you go through the usual process and then you're walking on the ramp and ready to get inside.
Yeah, we need the IC as well.
As we stepped inside the ship, it felt as if we have walked into a swanky mall or a hotel. The interiors were very plush, and we were blown away by how luxurious it all felt. We spent a few minutes admiring the lower decks and then waited with our group of passengers for a quick safety briefing on the designated deck. Once done, we were off to our stateroom on level 8. So let me give you a quick room tour. So we booked a stateroom with a balcony. So as you can see, here's a bed. It's a pretty decent size bed over here. And then right across the bed, you have the TV. And then here's a wardrobe. So nice, spacious wardrobe here. And then there is another one on the other side. So this is the other wardrobe. There's also a safe inside, and there's a couple of drawers too. And here's the washroom. Yeah. So you have a nice, decent size shower, seat and a wash area, and a nice large mirror. So yeah, nice, decent size bathroom, I would say. And then right over here, you have another mirror, and then you have your water and teas and coffee and a kettle. And then there's another cabinet here. So there's lots of space for storage. And of course, there's a small desk here that you can see. And then there is also a sofa. And now the best part of the room is, of course, the balcony. So let's have a look outside very quickly. So you have in the balcony these very nice comfy chairs that come with a footrest. So just the best place to chill and relax.
So now let's talk about F&B options. So in the F&B options, I will divide this into various categories. So one is complimentary, the other is paid or specialty restaurants, the third could be bars, and then the other could be snacks and other cafes which are there. So now let's talk about complimentary restaurants. So the complimentary restaurants also has different categories. So the first one we would want to share with you guys is the complimentary restaurant with buffet style. So in the buffet style restaurant, there are all the different kind of cuisine like Indian, Chinese, Asian, then you have Western food and salads and all those other things. And coming to the vegetarian, so all the different cuisine have a lot of the vegetarian varieties. Especially in the Indian counter, you will find always a lot of vegetarian food. And in the even Indian variety, there is also Jain vegetarian food, which is available. So I was not expecting that, but they had a separate buffet for Jain Indian food as well. So then there are other complimentary restaurants which are sit down, where you can sit down with a nice service and you can select the different items from the menu. The menu is quite limited. There are limited vegetarian options in few in appetizers, few in main courses. So because they did not have too many options, so we tried only 1 or 2 times the sit down service. Like one of the times we tried the sit down option was for breakfast, which was quite nice because you can select, you can customize what you want to eat, so they can come and serve you everything at the table. Now let's talk about specialty restaurants. So there are various variety of specialty restaurants like Japanese, Chinese, Italian and seafood restaurants. So all these restaurants have a menu where you can choose from what you like to have, but the vegetarian options are quite limited in this menu. And you have to pay in these restaurants. These are not complimentary at all. So there is a per person cost in each restaurant when you make reservation. So yeah. So now let's talk about cafes. So there are some complimentary cafes and some you have to pay and buy stuff. So in those cafes you can get stuff like sandwiches, pizzas and muffins, croissants if you're feeling hungry in between your meals. So now let's talk about various bars. So there are a lot of bars at different pools, and then there are specialty bars, like there's a wine bar and there's a cocktail bar, which is a bionic bar, which is a robot hand is making your cocktails when you order. And all the alcohol you consume here, you need to pay for it. There is nothing complimentary here. So I want to share one tip with you guys that a lot of people are not aware about. So you can get 2 wine bottles per room when you're boarding the ship and for your personal consumption. So a lot of people are not aware and they don't do it. So you should definitely get two wine bottles per room and consume it, because the alcohol is quite expensive and all the alcohol here is charged in USD, plus there is also 18% gratuity on top of it.
So now let's talk about the activities on board. There are so many activities here that I don't think that you can do all of those in the 4 days, 4 nights trip, but we'll share a lot of those regardless. So like with everything else, again, there's free activities and paid activities. So in the free ones, first and foremost, you have the swimming pools. So there are 3 swimming pools on board. So first one is an outdoor pool with jacuzzis, and then they have like a huge deck with sunbathing chairs on either side on the pool deck. Now if you go further towards the front of the cruise ship, you come into an exclusive area which is only for adults. It's called Solarium, and this was our favorite spot to be in. So here there's also like lots of comfortable seating and sunbathing chairs. And here as well you have a third pool, which is a small pool, but it's still nice if you want to be in the water and relax. Plus there are 2 jacuzzis which have water jets, and the water is warm. So it's really good for relaxing and calming down your muscles after all the other activities that you might do here. Other than that, there are lots of indoor games that you can enjoy, like there is basketball, there's soccer, there is table tennis, foosball tables and archery and things like that. Then there is also a gym and a running track for the fitness freaks. But our favorite activity was the bumper cars. It was a lot of fun, and it's something that you wouldn't expect to find on a cruise ship. So that was quite fascinating. But other than that, it's a very fun activity, something that I've enjoyed since my childhood days. And when I saw that they had this, we had to go, and we actually tried it a couple of times. Now there are more free activities. So there is a rock climbing wall, and it's actually quite high, and 3 people can go at the same time. So that's also something if you'd like to try. And then there is also the flow rider, which will send out a really strong current, almost like a wave, and you can try to balance yourself on something that looks like a surfboard. Now when it comes to the paid activities, there is iFly, which is your indoor skydiving, if that's something you're interested in. And then you have something that's called as a sky pad, where you have these trampoline-like cushions where you hang by ropes and jump and bounce around. And then the third paid activity I want to talk about is called North Star. It is something that we tried and we thought it was really cool. So it is like this capsule that takes you all the way and then gives you a bird's eye view of the ship and the surrounding area around it.
Then in the paid activities, you also have the gaming arcade, where you have things like car racing, bike racing, shooting, etc.
That's not it, but if you want to chill and pamper yourself, so there is also quite a big spa over here on the cruise, which you can enjoy. Or if you want to indulge in some shopping, so there are a lot of high-end brand stores. So you don't have to remember all these things, because the Royal Caribbean International has a very good app designed for it. So once you download the app and register yourself and add your itinerary, it will show you everything. All the information is available in the app, and you can plan your days as well. It has calendar option where you can add activities on which day you want to do. You can reserve the restaurants, or you can buy data packs if you like the internet. So all these services are available on their app, which makes the stay so good and easy to move around the cruise.
But I want to share our favorite activity on the cruise ship, and that was to watch sunsets from this place called the Sun Deck. So this was one story above the main deck, which had like lots of those chairs, and very few people knew how to access it. And either it was for that reason, or I don't know, for whatever reason, that very few people landed up there. So it became like a private deck where we enjoyed some snacks, some drinks, and watched amazing sunsets. And we got like really pretty sunsets. And in the evening, as the ship starts to move, it gets really breezy. So it's very pleasant, and it was like just the best way to relax and unwind for us. In terms of stops, there are 2 stops in the entire cruise. The first one is at Port Klang, which is near Kuala Lumpur, and it's actually 1.5 hours away from Kuala Lumpur, so that's something that you need to keep in mind, and it's for that reason that we didn't get off. The second stop is at Penang, and this one is very close to the city center, especially Georgetown, which is the old part of the town and is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And you can even walk there, so it's about 15 to 20 minute walk, or you can take a 5-minute cab ride. And in the old town, you can walk around, enjoy all the old architecture, take lots of interesting pictures on the various wall arts and murals, and enjoy some nice coffee and a quick bite in one of the many quirky cafes in the region. So that's what we did, and we had a really good time. We spent about 3 hours over there, and then we headed back to enjoy the rest of the cruise activities.
Also note that you do not need a visa to get off in Malaysia. When you board, the cruise will hold your passport for you and will issue you an access card, also known as the SeaPass card, which is linked to your passport. It is this card that you can use to get off in Malaysia and get on board the cruise again.
Okay, so now let's share the entertainment options. So like with everything else, there are free ones as well as paid. So when it comes to free, there is a very nice music hall which sometimes play DJ music, or there is a live band also that will perform, and you can enjoy those performances over drinks. Then there is also a Royal Theatre which plays different kind of shows. We attended one which was called Showgirl. It was a song and dance performance, and it was very uplifting and entertaining. And you can always check out what's on the app. Now there's also some paid shows, so you can always check the free ones versus the paid ones which plays at the Royal Theatre. Then there's also movie nights. So there's both indoor option as well as outdoor options when it comes to movies. So they'll play at a cafe called 270, and then the outdoor movies are by the pool that you can enjoy under the stars. And then they also have the casino, which has the usual, the slot machines, roulette and blackjack. So if you want to try your luck and win some moolah, then you can always drop by at the casino. To sum up this vlog, I want to say that as our first ever cruise experience, we had a good time. So I'll give it an overall rating of 7.5 on 10. So the things that were really good were, for example, the tidiness and cleanliness of the entire ship was very good. Our room was very comfortable, neat and tidy, and waking up to beautiful sunrises every morning was really calming. The service was very good, and the staff was very attentive, and everything worked on time. Then there's lots of activities here, as we have already shared, so all that is a big plus. On the other hand, I feel like there were certain items in the complimentary restaurants that were charged. For example, if you wanted a cappuccino or a latte, there was a charge for it, while regular coffee was free. Or if you wanted fresh orange juice, then there was a charge for it. I feel like these are some standard breakfast items, and these could have been complimentary as well. So that felt like a bit of a rip-off. Other than that, then some of the popular activities like bumper cars had long queues, so you had to wait. Sometimes you had to wait for a long time to be able to enjoy that experience. Then for the breakfast or meal services, at certain points it got really crowded, so either you have breakfast early or a bit late to avoid the crowds. And lastly, the food was a hit or a miss. Sometimes the taste was really good, but sometimes it was just average or bad. So I feel like they can improve the quality of the food a little bit, especially the desserts. And so with that, it's a wrap.
Thanks for watching the video, folks. I hope it was fun and useful.
And do hit like and share it with your friends and family. And if you have any questions or thoughts, then leave them in the comment section. Do hit subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And until next time, take care. We'll see you soon.
Bye.